Greetings everyone, Nate here, welcome back to the vlog. So this weekend I am headed up to a small little town in Michigan called Harrietta. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going on a writing excursion with my buddy John. I know we haven't really talked about the whole script writing thing in a little while, so I gotta get going, I gotta start packing, so I'll catch you up in the car. So as you guys may remember, my buddy John and I have been writing a script together for about, well, over a year now. This whole year has been completely outlining this entire thing because this is all new to us, collaboration is new, and it's been a long journey, and I think the length of the journey is attributed to our distance and our busy schedule. It's been a lot of little mini meetings on the phone, making sure that we feel good about this outline. But a couple weeks ago, we have finally decided to write the script. We think we have it fleshed out enough that we want to put some words down on paper in script form. This is what this work trip is. So we wanted to find a place that we can seclude ourselves and concentrate on the writing itself and only the writing. All right, so I've arrived at our location and it looks pretty nice, so let's have a look around. Bummer. Basically what I'm trying to do with this video is teach you guys or have you learn from our mistakes or what we figured out throughout this entire process. So with the outlining process, that was a different story, and I made a whole video on that, but now we're on the script writing process. So I thought I would just document the situation. Hopefully if you're a screenwriter or a scriptwriter out there right now and you're trying to get into this or you're trying to figure out how to navigate this whole thing, we're trying to do the same. I've been studying script writing for a long time. I've been writing scripts for a very long time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I know how to write a good script. It's definitely a trial and error type of situation. So I'm hoping I can document this, record what we've learned, what worked, what didn't work, and I can pass that knowledge on to you. So hopefully I can save you some time and heartache when you're writing your own script. So that's the intention with this video. The outlining process was such a huge undertaking for both John and myself. And the way we looked at it is that we wanted the story, the plot points, the structure, the characters, all of this, the ending especially, we wanted all this fleshed out as much as possible before we started writing the script as to make the process easier. Will it? I don't know. Personally, I felt like we were spending a lot of time on the outline when I knew things were going to change in the script writing process. Things are just going to change. That's going to happen. But I think it is important to outline and make sure you know where the story's going to go. This isn't necessarily the right way, though. Very successful screenwriters that don't start with an outline at all. They just start writing the screenplay and see where it goes. Normally with an ending in mind, but everything evolves so naturally through these processes. I didn't want to get dead set on one thing because something better may come about in the script writing process. However, with two people writing, and especially from a distance, John and I wanted to make sure that both of us were clear on the way we wanted this story to go. Because if we are going to write separately, we at least wanted to make sure we were on the same trajectory as the other person. And once we start reviewing each other's notes and reviewing each other's scripts, although they're going to be noticeably different, they're still going to carry the same plot points, and that way we can pick the best details of each of our scripts to combine them, hopefully, into something more cohesive and creative. John's here. He just arrived. So now that John has arrived, we decided to just take a seat, catch up a little bit, and just talk about how we wanted the weekend to go, how we wanted the workflow to look like, and how many pages we ultimately wanted to be written by the end of the weekend. Once we hashed out a little bit of a game plan, it was time to get writing. Okay, so we're on day 2, it's the evening, we're probably gonna have dinner in a little bit, but I just want to run you through sort of what we've been experiencing and how we've been working. So starting mid-afternoon yesterday, we've pretty much been doing about 2.5-hour increments of writing. I've been logging all the hours just for research purposes and just to see how long this type of situation takes, just to see how long this process takes, I guess, especially with two people working together. So when we came up here, we each had the first 3 scenes written out separately, and then we were going to compare notes, compare our scripts, and then take the best of both scripts and put them together. So we pretty much did that almost all last night, and then today we've been doing pretty much writing the script together with a clean slate. Moving into the next process when we're not going to be together but still writing the script, I think the best way of doing it so far has been writing a scene individually and then coming together. And I think that's pretty much how this is going to continue to go. Our goal is to write 25 pages by the end of tonight, and we're at 15, so we're doing pretty good. After the outline process, it's interesting because we thought we could get it all figured out, but there's just so many little minuscule things you have to figure out while actually writing the script itself. It's super fun and really consistently rewarding after you get over a hurdle. You're like, boom, that's perfect, that's what we're gonna do, moving on. We're not going back and editing or reading anything. We're pretty much just writing and just letting it spill all out. We know the first draft is probably gonna be a pile of garbage. That's gonna be, it's gonna need to be edited up, it's gonna need to be switched around, a lot of things are gonna change, but we just want to make sure that words are getting out on the page, and that's what the most important thing is with this whole weekend. So I'm really happy with the progress, and I just kind of wish we actually had another day. I mean, this has really showed me that when you crack down with somebody else, you really can get a lot of work done. So it's been great. Time to get back to it. Okay, so we're back from the weekend, and I have to say it was a huge success. You know, it just was not only a very productive weekend, but a very fun weekend. So I thought I would go over just a little bit here at the end of some of the things we learned that maybe you guys can apply to your own writing. Starting with the first thing, something that we did that I'm really glad we did was set realistic goals. We went in there and we weren't like, we're gonna finish this script this weekend. That's just not a realistic goal. So we said we wanted 25 pages, 25 solid pages done after this weekend. And that's from just a day and a half of writing, and we accomplished that. We actually hit 26 pages, and we found a good stopping point as well, where we didn't go too overboard with anything. So realistic goals, I think that's just really, really important in all aspects of life, of course, but really when it comes to writing, it's nice to set those realistic goals. Another really helpful tip for us was to take breaks, and I know a lot of people feel like breaks are a waste of time because you're using up all that time you could be writing, but really to refresh the mind and just sort of decompress a little bit and clear the mind is really, really important. So we would take frequent breaks, not long ones, but at one point we went for a walk and we went outside and we went to a hiking trail and just sort of like got away from screens for a little bit. And when we come back, we feel so much more refreshed, so much more ready to work, and I just feel a little bit more clear-headed. So take breaks and don't feel guilty for taking breaks. And I mentioned this earlier, but one of the biggest things we discovered was both people working at the same time. I found that even though it feels counterproductive for two people to be writing the same scene, it was just good to constantly be writing, constantly having the brain focused on what we were doing, the task at hand. A lot of times when John was just writing and I was just sort of waiting for him to finish his thoughts, I found myself getting distracted, checking my phone, or just sort of like, you know, twiddling around with something and just not concentrating on what we were doing. And staying on track is often very difficult, especially for me when it comes to that train of thought of getting into the zone, getting into flow, if you will. So it was really important for me just to be at the screen, at my own screen, typing up a scene. Even if maybe it won't even be used, I'm still thinking of new ideas. I'm still thinking of how the story could be better, how the scene could be better. So when both parties were writing at the same time, that was when we got the most work done, and that is when we came up with the best ideas. Another thing that was very helpful for us was isolation. Isolation was key. We looked at a lot of places where we could just get away somewhere that's secluded, and we got this Airbnb, and although it was a humongous house, perhaps unnecessarily large, but it's better than being in a crammed apartment or being surrounded by neighbors or distractions or things to do. This town had a gas station and a small diner, and that's it. There was nothing else for us to do except for crack down and write. And I think that was really, really important to have that isolation. I did have to do a hotspot on my phone with very limited service. So another thing to check, make sure if you're doing a little excursion for writing, especially if you're going somewhere very secluded, make sure the place has Wi-Fi. This is a simple one, but it is vital to a successful script, and that is have fun with it. There's going to be stressful times with it, there's going to be frustrating times with it, but really you're doing this because you love to do it. And that's something I always have to remind myself. I love doing this. No one's forcing me to write this script. It's because I want to. And when we were up there, we got a lot of work done, but we had a lot of fun. You know, we cooked meals and we drank a little bit, and it was fun. You know, it was good to just get away and enjoy doing what you love to do, but also making sure that you're not taking yourself too seriously. I think when you're having fun with something like this, a lot more creativity comes out of it, a lot more interesting ideas come out of it as well. So make sure you're just always reminding yourself that you're having fun. All right, guys, so that's all I got for you today. I hope this was kind of helpful for you, or maybe at least inspiring for you to get back to work, whether it be on a script or even on videos or something like that. I sort of went off the grid a little bit with the channel for the past 2 or 3 weeks because I just didn't really feel like it was important in the times that we're in right now. So I'm happy to get back into making more content, but for a while I just wanted to step aside and maybe concentrate on some more important and pressing issues going on in our world right now. But I will be back with a lot more content coming up really soon. I'm excited to bring you guys a lot more videos, and I'm just ready to get back to work. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the near future.